My name is Menzi Nxumalo from SENBI Invasive Species Program. I would like to introduce you to my presentation or to the project that I've been working on in collaboration with various stakeholders in KZN. My project has been on naming of invasive alien plants into isiZulu. I would like to introduce my talk by just stating that invasive alien plants management may be possible if we can get commitment from all interested and affected parties. In this case, I'm talking about stakeholders, the local communities that we need to communicate to in order to give them understanding of the environment, in order to equip them with the ability to identify invasive alien plants and also the understanding of the impacts of the invasive alien plants. In order for us to be able to achieve these things, we need to communicate with the local communities in a language that they understand, that they feel more comfortable in. So, which I think in this case is in isiZulu. As we all might be aware that isiZulu is the most spoken language in KZN. For the purpose of this project, we looked at a couple of things. One of them being the traditional Zulu knowledge about plants is being lost and polluted due to the fact that people are increasingly fail to identify invasive alien plants and also to differentiate between invasive alien plants and indigenous plant species. The background of the project, we started this project in 2012. As to date, it comprises of 12 stakeholders from different partner institutions in KZN that are working on invasive alien plants. As some of us, or maybe all of us, may be aware that isiZulu composition is different according to regions in KZN. The people who are coming from the south coast, they speak a completely different Zulu to the people who are coming from Midlands, and so is the people from northern KZN and Midlands, so their Zulu composition is not very similar. So in that case, we decided to invite stakeholders from different regions. We invited people from northern KZN, Zululand, Midlands, Coastland, and South Coast. The rationale behind the naming of invasive alien plants in isiZulu, the concept arises from the fact that the majority of people in KZN they are more comfortable in communicating in isiZulu. So in this case, we would be able to reach even further audience, people in rural areas. Because we're all aware that most of the promotional materials or of the work that has been done has been communicated in English with it creates a barrier when it comes to rural people from rural areas. The naming of invasive alien plants also, as we are aware that medicinal plants are widely used, especially in South Africa or in KZN in particular, as it has been stated here that over 400 plants have been actively traded. So this there is a question of whether a non-indigenous plant and maybe accidentally used because of misidentification and shortage of indigenous medicinal plants. The aim of the working group was simply to improve communication and standardize the use of common names and improve relations with local communities. And also we're looking at rectifying the current existing names and also producing new names to those that doesn't have one. The aim is also looking at translating promotional materials and also regulations so that people may be able to understand and be able to fit in the management of invasive alien plants. In order for us to get to where we want to go, we had to create a group, as I had mentioned before, and also we needed to gather information. So we have our own working group meetings with all the stakeholders involved. We have engaged communities with local people and traditional leadership. We have consulted various institutions like University of KwaZulu-Natal, and also we have published some articles on local newspapers. The process of naming invasive alien plants was structured in a way that it will give negative names to plants so that people will see or will learn from the plant itself that these plants are not good for their environment and also for their well-being. One example I have here is that of the Parthenium. I'm sure maybe some of us have seen the brochures that we produced in isiZulu for Parthenium, and we decided to name it Umbulalazwe. because of the severe economic and socio-economic and ecological impacts they have in our society. If we can look at the second name, Umbulalazwe. Umbulalazwe, Bulala is to kill, Izwe is the country. So by giving Pathenian this name, people will be able to sort of understand the concept that Umbulalazwe or Pathenium is not good for their environment, because anything that is called Umbulalazwe is sort of like destroying the country, and that is not good. In our process of naming invasive alien plants, we had to develop a protocol so that we will be uniform in our structures, so that there won't be any biasness or anything that may hinder the success of our projects. So plants were named according to their growth pattern. We looked at their growing behavior in their growing environment. For example, the plants that are growing in water, we have to give them a name that will be related to their environment that they grow in. And so it's the plants that are growing in a certain environment, we have to give them a name that is related to that sort of environment. Some plants were named according to the history that they have. In order for us to get that information, we had to contact local indigenous people, local people, the likes of traditional healers and the elders in the communities who sort of like had more knowledge when it comes to plants in general. Some plants may be beautiful, by just looking at them, but we had to sort of come up with a negative name that would sort of overcome that beauty of the plant and show the negative impact or sort of like negativity of the plant itself. Then I will get to some of the things that we have managed to produce so far as the working group. We have translated and rectified a total of 112 plants. This is just the example of some of the plants that we translated. If we can look at the first column here, we have the Brazilian pepper tree, which is currently known as Utango or Isipaha. And then we had to find a problem with the old plant, with the old name, in order to give a new name. The old name was called Isipaha. Isipaha. We did our research and found that this is also a name of an indigenous tree, Warburgia salutaris. And also, it had a second name which is called Utango. Utango refers to anything such as which is used as a hedge or any plant that is used for fencing. And then we proposed a new name which is called isihlekhleke. Isihlekhleke refers to something that is not organized. So if you have Brazilian pepper tree in your yard, and someone comes and calls it isihlekhleke, you wouldn't want to keep it because, the name just tells you that it's not at all a good plant. And then another example is that of the Crofton wheat. Then the problem with the old plant, with the old name here, is we didn't have a problem because it didn't have one. Okay. Then we also worked on conservation terms that we mostly use in the conservation world. This one we worked on it with in collaboration with another forum called Masikhuluphe, which was spearheaded by Jessica, who is just sitting here with us in the audience. Some of the terms that we translated into isiZulu was invasive alien plants, and then trying to get the standard term for invasive alien plants so that whenever or anyone who's going to the community can stick to these terms just to avoid confusion and also to limit. Okay, and then so one of the examples is the management plan. It's called in isiZulu we call it uhlelo lokuphatha or lokwengamela. So we will expect everyone who's talking to the community, as particularly in communities from rural areas, to use these terms that we have put together. This is just some of the examples, some of the things that we have managed to publish so far. It's a brochure, it's a pamphlet on Pathenium, which is called Umbulalazwe, and then another one is that of hydroclase, but we have a total of 6 promotional materials that we have managed to translate into isiZulu. This is just an example of an article that we published in one of the local newspapers. It had beautiful pictures, all the information is isiZulu and in English for everyone's benefit. That will bring me to the end of my presentation. You know, there are still a lot of work that we still need looking forward to do, like translating NEMA regulations into isiZulu, which we think, you know, it will be useful, especially for local people and also for communities in rural areas. And also we're looking to publish a book with all these new names that we have managed to put up so far, and to engage communities in order to promote the use of these isiZulu common names that we have developed. And also to encourage other stakeholders to commit in using isiZulu common names when writing their articles or publications, or anything that will go out to the public for everyone's benefit. Okay, I would like to acknowledge the following people for all the work that they put together and their time that they put together in making sure that this project is successful. Thank you.